In this video, we will talk about the aftermath events of Pearl Harbor. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a tragic event that changed the course of history and brought the United States into World War II. On December 7th, 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. This devastating assault killed over 2,400 Americans and caused significant damage to the U.S. military. This attack not only led the U.S. entering World War II, but also had long-lasting effects on American public opinion, military strategy, and global politics. The attack on Pearl Harbor drastically altered Americans' public view of global conflicts, importance of the U.S. involvement in World War II, and reshaped American military and diplomatic strategies. The attack on Pearl Harbor forced the United States to reevaluate how it protected its military assets. One of the significant changes in the aftermath of the attack was how the U.S. altered its military security and defense strategies. Before the attack, the U.S. military officials believed that any attack on American soil was unlikely. However, the surprise nature of the bombing made clear the vulnerabilities in the U.S. military defenses. As a result, the U.S. made immediate changes, including strengthening the security around military bases and increasing the readiness of armed forces. The attacks also led to the expansion of military intelligence to prevent future surprises. The attack on Pearl Harbor demonstrated how unprepared the U.S. military was for a direct assault on its territory. In conclusion, the attack on Pearl Harbor highlighted significant flaws in the U.S. military defense, leading to rapid reforms to protect the nation's security. In conclusion, the attack on Pearl Harbor highlighted significant flaws in military defenses, leading to rapid reforms to protect the nation's security.
Hello, I'm Noah.
Hi, I'm Edwin. We're going to be interviewing Mr. Doy.
This is Mr. Doy. And so, how did the aftermath of Pearl Harbor affect Hawaii now?
The main thing was that it cemented us to be part of the United States, right? Because of like the 442nd and all those guys who went and fought in the war, right? The thing that's the most important though is after the war, all those guys became eligible for the GI Bill, which meant if you served in the military, you could go to college. Up to that point, college was only for rich people, okay? And what happened was there are all these people that would have never gotten college educations that got educated. They became doctors, lawyers, businessmen, whatever. But it changed the whole power structure of the state. Because once upon a time, in the early days as a trust territory, the only people that were in charge of things in Hawaii were basically white people. And what happened once everybody got educated, they became a political force and they kind of took over the state. So if you look at the legislature now, it's multiracial. It's brown, it's white, it's yellow, whatever, right? That would have never happened if they never had the GI Bill, because, you know, my relatives would have still been on the plantations, you know, and, you know, they talk about the Deep South and plantations and stuff like that. We had plantations here too. You know, we had immigrant workers and we were basically, if you weren't white, you were nothing. So that's the big change, because it changed the politics of Hawaii.
People are treated today differently because of the events that happened in Pearl Harbor.
I think we're more equal than we used to be before. I think that's changing though, because as we become part of mainstream America, we're kind of reverting back to that. With Trump getting elected, we're reverting back to the fact that we're trying to scrub out all the people that were female, non-white, gender-specific stuff. They're all being scrubbed from the history, and they're also making those people, they're elevating their people back into power again, you know? So if you were, Asian, black, female, whatever, you consider DEI, and you're not going to hold the top positions. That's the Trump administration right now. So I don't know. It's really weird. I mean, I kind of see things in a way that we're trying to segregate things again too, and we're marginalizing a whole, half of the population of the United States. Yeah.
Where was your family during and after Pearl Harbor?
My dad lived on a plantation on the Big Island in Pahala, which is in the middle of nowhere. And after the war, everybody moved to Oahu. My mom's family started on the Big Island, but they moved to Oahu really early on and ran a dry cleaning business. And they used to deal with all the rich tourists in Waikiki. So that part of my family was educated prior to the war. So a lot of them were all educated on the mainland, NYU, Ohio State, whatever. They all went to big schools, and they became like doctors, lawyers, computer guy. One's a computer guy and whatever. Most of them are really old now, but that's how that part of the family got started. And my dad's side, when they moved over, they all became like laborers and whatever, and they all moved to Oahu. And then the next generation is like us. So on my father's side, me and my cousins are the first ones with college degrees. Yeah.
How do Japan and the U.S. remember Pearl Harbor today, and how has it affected their relations?
Well, I think we're in good relations with Japan because, we got a big Japanese population here, right? It's weird though because they've taken ownership about their part in the war, right, with the U.S. But in Japan, they don't talk about them going through Southeast Asia and China and stuff like that. That part of the stuff, they try to scrub it. And that's why there's all this stuff, even now, where you read news about South Korea and Japan still having issues with, their relationship after the war. Because, we won, our relationship with Japan is pretty good, with the exception of they're not too happy about us having military bases there, right? Okay. But Japan's relationship to the rest of Asia for a long time hasn't been too cool because Japan went to China, Vietnam, Korea, whatever, and they did horrible things to the people there, Philippines, whatever. I mean, it's different now, but I mean, after the war, they didn't like the Japanese. And we, on the other hand, kind of embraced them, helped rebuild their country, and then they took off and they rebuilt their country and, into a real economic power, I think right now you're going to look at the way the world changes and Japan's going to become a military power again too. And the companies that built cars and stuff like that, like Mitsubishi and whatever, once upon a time they were industrial companies that built fighter planes and guns and ships and battleships and whatever. Those companies are kind of getting retooled again to start creating military products, And once that starts happening, they'll be militarized because we want them to take care of their own business, right? Yeah.
The American public was deeply in shock and angered of the attack of Pearl Harbor, which led to them supporting the war. The attack killed many people and caused a lot of damage, making Americans feel sad and scared. Many people wanted to get revenge and protect their country, which made them want the US to fight back. This shared feelings of anger and hurt helped the country come together. People started joining the military and supporting the war effort in many ways. The attack on Pearl Harbor changed the way Americans felt about this war, making them more determined to fight back. Overall, the emotional reaction to Pearl Harbor played a huge role in the US deciding to go to war. In addition to the emotional impact, the attack on Pearl Harbor also led to changes in the US military strategy. The attack forced the US military to rethink its strategies and improve its defense systems. After Pearl Harbor, the US military realized it needs stronger protection for its naval bases and better surveillance to prevent future attacks. They increased security measures and forced on training soldiers to be ready for combat. The attack also led to improvements in technology like radar to detect enemy forces. These changes helped the US prepare for the larger conflict of World War II. Following Pearl Harbor, the US military adopted new strategies including better surveillance and stronger defenses. In conclusion, the attack on Pearl Harbor forced the US military to make important changes that helped them be more prepared for future battles.
In summary, the attack on Pearl Harbor had a lasting impact on both the emotional and strategic aspects of the United States' involvement in World War II. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a turning point for the U.S., pushing the country from a position of isolation to active involvement in the war. It sparked outrage, fear, and a strong desire for retaliation from the American public. This tragic event changed the course of history, not only leading to U.S. involvement in World War II, but also shaping military strategies and public sentiment for years to come. The attack on Pearl Harbor deeply affected the American people and military, shifting public opinion and prompting significant changes in military strategy and defense systems.
Alright, thanks for watching.
I remember the day I was flying my Zero in to shoot all those boys on the, and they were shooting torpedoes at the battleships. Oh, bro, it was awesome.
The end.
Like saying like bro, more than the end. Like say, no, just say it like. You know,
Alright, bye.
Just like ready to die for the emperor, and then just take out.
Alright, bye.
I am Noah.